Hey, we are Chris and Teresa and are obsessed with all things fiber and guiding you on your fiber arts journey. We own a successful fiber processing mill, an online needle felting business, experienced at raising all fiber animals, and are renovating a 100-year-old school into a fiber arts retreat center.
Processing, needle felting, yarn, roving, fiber animals, and our renovating progress are all topics discussed here. Think of this as your one-stop shop for advice, information, tips, and getting your questions answered on all things fiber, from raising the animals to the finished product and everything in between. So pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be inspired while you learn. This is EweTube.
Welcome to EweTube 72. This isn't Teresa. This is my husband, Steve. In the last couple YouTubes, we have spoke of Steve, and he's mentioned that he has noticed because he
not
just
all good things, I understand.
It was all good things, love. All good things.
I don't know how they talked me into going on camera, but
here you are.
Had to buy a new hat even to go on camera. Usually there's a pencil stuck in my hat right about here.
This is true. This is true.
This one doesn't hold pencils. But. Hi, YouTube fans.
Yes, yes. This is awesome. So anyway, this is Steve. This is my husband. And welcome to EweTube.
Thanks. Nice to be here. Okay, now I'm supposed to be talking about this snowman kit. I have no idea anything about this snowman kit.
But isn't it good?
They're awesome. You know, they really are cute. It's a great thing, especially this time of the year with Christmas just around the corner.
Absolutely.
Actually, Christmas is going to be done and gone by the time
this is true. But, you know, then we're going to be coming upon January, and this would be an awesome family
Yeah,
thing.
you know, there really hasn't been any snow yet, so you really can't make snowmen yet. So it's coming soon, so then everybody buys a snowman kit and makes a snowman inside your nice warm house rather than the ice cold weather.
Perfect.
That would be awesome.
That's perfect. Yep, perfect. All right, and we're going to share some of the wonderful things that you have been doing in the school that you've surprised us of, because he was here all weekend working for 16 hours a day. Saturday and Sunday. Yes.
I'm here every weekend.
I know, honey.
This
I
is
know.
nothing special this weekend.
I know, but usually he comes home and gives me a little synopsis of what has been going on, and he would come home and I'd say, well, you know, how was Nome? And he'd go, it was all right. Yeah, no, you know, just doing the same old, yeah.
You got to have surprises once in a while.
I know. So then we came and we were on this amazing podcast. This gal came and we were giving her a tour of the school, and we walked up the steps, and lo and behold, here was this amazing thing that we are going to be sharing a little later in this YouTube.
You're going to show them a picture of that?
Yes.
But it isn't done yet.
Well, I know, but this is what we do. We share the steps of what you've done here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how we do
Well,
it.
yeah, you're going to explain to them that what we're doing, we're going to wrap the post and make it all look pretty and everything down there?
You just did. You just did. It's going to make it look like it's always been there, right?
Yeah.
Everyone who comes will have no idea that you had done this.
Yeah. I think it's going to look really nice when it's done. So if you see a picture in its raw form right now, keep in mind Steve's got to finish it yet. So
yes, exactly.
it'll look really nice when it's all done. But the concept is there. At least now we can see the window, and the window is pretty cool.
Yes.
And before it was kind of half blocked by as some of you that have been to school here probably remember, that the floor kind of went right up to the window, kind of cut the window in half. Well, now you can see the whole window. Yes. Are you going to tell them about what you're coming down there?
Oh, yes.
There's going to be
yes.
Gorgeous chandelier.
No.
Expensive.
Gorgeous chandelier.
Gorgeous chandelier,
we're getting a good deal on it.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So cool beans. All right.
Okay, well, I've worked really hard today, so I'm going to go home now.
I'll let you go.
And get a little rest so I can come back tomorrow, back on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I'll be here working, so nice seeing all of you YouTube fans.
Yes. Thank you, love. Well, wasn't that fun? That was fun. That was awesome. I'm so happy that he actually agreed to do that.
Was willing to do that. That was cool.
That was awesome. That was awesome. So we are going to go right into what he was talking about, because we literally were giving this gal a tour of the school with our hard hats on, because we're on a podcast. It's
Growing Small Towns podcast. You'll have to check into that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not airing until
January 25th is when our podcast with her will air, and it was really fun. It was really loud. Everything was happening, and so we did the podcast in the bathroom. So that was pretty fun.
Of the event center, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really fun podcast where we feel it's always fun when we feel somebody really gets what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And because not a lot of people do. So
yeah,
it was really fun to see somebody else just as excited. So
yes, it was super
that
fun.
was Growing Small Towns podcast. So.
Yeah.
So we're going to share our surprise when we were giving her the tour of the school. We had not seen this. We didn't know it was done.
Yeah, because my husband, literally all weekend, I knew he got up early and was here, literally all day. And I knew he had to have been working hard, but his list is very long. Yeah. So, there's many number of things he could have been doing. The last thing I would have thought that he was doing, though, was doing this cutback of the second floor landing.
So that was a lot of fun. Looking, getting to see that for the first time and sharing it with you guys. We think we've been waiting for this to, one of the architects had the idea of cutting that away, and we were all for it from the beginning, because the floor went all the way up to the wall, covered up most of the window.
Yeah, you could just see the very tippy top of the arch.
Yeah, we didn't understand why they did that.
Yeah, and then the trophy case lived in front of it forever. And so none of the alumni even knew that the window went up above the
But now
floor.
You can see the whole window, and it should light up the whole area.
It is so beautiful. It is so and you stand at the top floor looking down. Oh, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you could see in the video, but some of the brick is exposed.
Yes.
Where the plaster was removed on the bottom.
And it's in this beautiful arch fashion.
Yeah, and we're hoping to remove all the plaster and that, expose all of that. So stay tuned.
Yes, it's becoming, I know, my favorite area of the school. And we're going to we picked out this gorgeous chandelier that'll be hanging from the bottom of your studio down into the center of this beautiful arch window that is kind of the focal point of the front of the school.
Yeah, it'll look very, very nice.
Yeah. We're excited. We're so excited. Yeah.
Progress.
Amazing surprise. Yeah. And then on that same note, then they got the walls of the second floor addition up.
So last week,
including the interior walls.
Yeah, because last week we had been told the walls were coming, and we were so excited about seeing those done. And we mentioned on our last episode that they weren't done, and it was kind of disappointing for us. But they got all of the outside walls of that floor done in one day. And I was here that morning, and I took a video of the first wall getting put on, and that was really fun to be able to watch and see. And I stayed throughout the day and just went out and took pictures, at intervals to see how far they were. And it was really fun to see all the walls go up. So, yeah. And then since then, they've gotten the walls on the inside done.
Which was really cool, because now we can walk through the rooms and the kitchen. And
And we did a little tour. So that was a lot of fun to be able to go up there and, walk through. You can get the actual size of all those rooms. And
of the kitchen and our office.
And make
the
plans.
Dining space. Oh, yeah.
And,
pretty exciting.
Because we've been thinking a lot lately about where the lights will go and where these ducts are going, the exposed ducts and, where the lights should go. So it was fun to see and just picture how big everything will need to be and what we'll have to fill in. So
it's coming together. It looks so good. Yeah. Yes. Yep. And then from there we went downstairs and we did a little video tour of the mill. Because they've got It's mostly framed up in there.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been really fun to see how much, they've gotten done, and to go in there and plan on where all the equipment will go, and how to make everything flow nicely, and how everything will fit with the kit assembly area that we now have in the gym here, and see how that will fit. And it's pretty exciting to see.
Absolutely.
It all come together.
Yeah, so we're going to back up just a hair here, and we're a little exhausted this YouTube, because yesterday we were here late because we moved everything from the mezzanine. I got that right.
Mezzanine.
The mezzanine down onto this other half of the gym floor, that because they're going to start doing the rest of the remaining ceiling not tiles.
Just fixing the rest of the ceiling.
Yeah, fixing the.
So if you're new to our YouTube, we had gotten the entire gym completed. It was all done. We had a grand opening in July, and it was right before that we discovered that there was moisture in the insulation. And so we had to replace everything that had been done on the ceiling. And so I don't know if you can see the ceiling behind us, but that has all been replaced. So they only replaced half of it, because we were working out of the mezzanine and the other half of the gym, and it was our busiest season. Christmas is our busiest season, so we didn't want to move anything. And since now it's slowed down since Christmas is over, and so we moved everything down here so that they can come and finish.
Yes, and a huge shout out to Mike Peterson. He came over with his forklift. I don't know how we would have done that without it.
Yes.
It would not have gotten done, because we had a large number of large pieces of furniture up there.
Yes, and all the little stuff, we removed all the little stuff running up and down the steps. And we had that all out, and then he came over with his forklift, and we had 3 of the Roars guys help us lift those heavy things onto the forklift.
We still owe them.
Yeah.
We owe you guys if you're watching.
So that went a lot faster than we had thought. It wasn't.
Oh man, yeah.
When we put everything up there wasn't a railing, so it was a lot easier.
And we used a smaller lift at that point, and it went pretty good. But even at that, there was 2 of the big pieces of furniture that your husband handmade that they took apart to get them up there, because they're so heavy.
Yeah, and this time they just lifted them right onto the forklift.
It was amazing.
So we have a whole new area set up down here in the gym, so we can do our kit assembly and packaging of orders down here while they finish.
Yep, and we'll still be in January. We're scheduling some classes. We'll have a snowman class for sure.
On the 16th.
Yep, and Rock Day, of course. If stay tuned, we'll be having, we're going to blog on what Rock Day is about, as well as we'll share on Facebook and whatnot. So Rock Day for all you spinners out here. We'll be here on Sunday, January 10th, 11th.
I think it's 10. Or is it the 9th?
No, it's not the 9th. It's
10th.
the 10th. It's the 10th from 1 to 3:30.
It will say on nomeschoolhouse.com.
Yeah.
The exact date, or on our Facebook page. So
we're trying to get through Christmas and beyond that. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, we're recording this before Christmas, but it will actually air after Christmas.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah, we're a little frazzled
right
now. And on top of that, we're expecting a blizzard tomorrow. We just were informed of that about an hour ago. So, yippee.
So we're just going to go home.
Got all that.
Snuggle in.
Yeah, hunker down and I'll crawl into my mill and it's all good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so in 2 years ago, there is this iconic picture that was taken.
I took that. It was 2 years ago on this day of the school. So it's come a long ways.
It has.
It was a very beautiful picture of like I wouldn't say it's the beginning of our project, but towards the beginning. All the trees had been removed, and we were really proud of that fact at that time, that you could see the school, and it was so beautiful. So,
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I mean, and we've had a lot of pictures with hoarfrost and whatnot, because it's so pretty when God just paints up the trees beautifully with the frost. And but this is just a special picture. It just really, and will always be.
Yeah, I mean, that was back when we were still dreaming of what it would become. When I got the picture and hung it on the wall, and it was just a reminder of what we were doing.
So. That it will be. And last year, this was kind of cool, because I was at home in the middle or whatever, and you were giving a tour to your family.
Yeah, so my family was home for Christmas here, and my sister and my brother and their families, and I was giving them a tour of the school and the progress that we've had, and we walked around back, and we had removed the back portion of the school that had caved in, and we looked up at the chalkboard that used to be the classroom. You know, there was a floor there, but it was gone now, and so it was quite a ways up there, and it said "Merry Christmas" at a little tree, and that was kind of cool to see. We still don't know who did that.
Yeah, we assumed it was one of the Roars guys, but they emphatically denied. So and it had to have been done with a lift, because whoever it was had to have, had a lift that put themselves over the debris that.
Yeah.
It was.
But it was really neat to see when people could be destructive.
Yes.
And it was just like Merry Christmas.
It was amazing.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yes. Yeah. And then we're going to get right into our product feature, which is...
It's all around snowmen. We don't have any snowmen. We don't have any snow right now.
No. Maybe tomorrow, though. Apparently, we're getting a bunch of snow tomorrow. So.
We hear we're getting snow. And so I've been working a lot on snowmen. I have made these since I started. So
well over
quite a
1,000.
few years. Yeah, and it's 1,000. It's 1,100 and some snowmen that I have made, and their hats were all hand spun, and they were all made by me. And there's a lot of people that are collecting them, and
they're all numbered as well. Don't you number them?
They're all numbered, and I mean it's been pretty fun to see those coming back each year, because they buy one each year for their little collection, and it's been fun making them for everyone. This year I've been a little behind, so I haven't made as many as I have in the past. So, but I will keep on making them.
Special this year.
Yes, definitely. So, and then we also have the snowman kit, which is one of our most popular kits, and that is really fun for kids to make, as well as adults.
Open it up.
And it has pre-felted balls inside, so that it's easier to complete, faster to complete.
I will hold
the kit. These are all done for you. So you wrap the white wool around.
Yeah, so these are all varying colors in the kits. So.
And you put the nose on. You make the nose there, and the instructions are all there. And the buttons, and the mouth, and the eyes, and the scarf.
Yes.
And the instructions there, you have choices, and when ordering the kit, of getting needles and a foam cushion. And that's if you've never felted before, you don't have these supplies, but you also have the option of getting a kit without these two items, in case you have these at home, or if you're ordering more than one kit and you don't need these. You only need one set. Or you have the option of getting our wool needle felting cushion, which is what we recommend. That's what I use, and will last you a lifetime, where these only last you a couple projects. So, and then there's also instructions that I wrote, and I took lots of pictures to help you along the way with the project of each step.
Makes it so much easier.
Yes, and many have loved this one. This is one of my most popular. So, yeah, you can find these on bearcreekfelting.com, or going through the shop on nomeschoolhouse.com. And these would be a great project for this winter.
Oh, yes.
Great for kids working. I know a lot of grandparents like to work with their grandkids on these projects, and I have a little nephew that is 8, and he has completed them all on his own. And he,
awesome.
yeah. So they're lots of fun. Adults love them too. So.
Yes. And they're all different. Even the ones that you make, every single one is
Yeah, it's
different.
hard to make them different. They always have a different personality.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and then we had a few questions. So we'll go right into that while you're repacking that kit there. And one of them was, have you worked with Romandale? And wood that felt as tight as Romney, and how does that wool compare? Well, I had a Romandale, and what Romandale is, the breed in, I think it was 1910, someone crossed a Romney sheep with a Rambouillet sheep, and it was, they over the years, they kept breeding this breed, and it is now Romandale, and it's a I should have checked if it was a Save-'em to Shave-'em breed, but I'm not sure. But it is a very rare breed. And then they brought in color with the CVMs, the California Variegated Mutant. And so you often see Romandale/CVM. And it's a fine wool. It's a lot finer than the Romney is. And a little shorter stable length, but much finer and real bouncy. And for me, when I felt it a lot of CVM. I had some Romandale CVM, and one of them was Lover Legs. I still have 2 or 3 of his fleeces. And when I got him as a castrated male, and they missed one of his testicles. So when I would.
I'm still wondering, Lover Legs. How did he get this name?
Because he loved me. Oh my goodness! I used to have a Angora goat that would come and run into my arms, but this sheep, he was like, oh my goodness, he would follow me around, and he wanted to sit in my lap. He just loved me, and he had these super long legs, because I got him as it was a very young lamb when I got him. Anywho, so here he is. I thought he was a castrated male, and then as he grew older, he got these little horns, just small, like little nubblings for some reason. And whenever I'd bend over, oh my goodness, Lover Legs would hit me, and it got really bad. It got that I would be beating him on the head with my buckets, and I'm like, this is not castrated male sheep behavior. No. So anywho, so I called my vet. He came out, and he's like, oh yeah, Lover Legs has a testicle. So they missed one. So got that taken care of, and he just went back into his wonderful self. I really got off the topic there of what I was talking about. But anywho, so I'm very familiar with Romandale and that type of wool. And when I felt it in my felting machine, it doesn't felt real well. It felt, but I have to felt it at least 3 times. I have to run it through 3 cycles in my felting machine, because if I only do it 1 or 2 times, and then I dry it, it just like puffs back up. And when I felt, I want the felt to be firm and smooth, and it just gets too puffy. It makes beautiful yarn. I love the CVM yarn that I do with it. It tends to be, you got to be careful with the CVMs, tend to be a little tippy, I call them, because they're fine, and the tips can actually felt. They're so dense that the tips will get a little felted on the animal itself, and then they will separate, so you get these little nubbins that get in the yarn. And I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. If it's a tippy fleece, I mean, you can't draft something that has no length to it. But other than that, yeah. So as far as wet felting, I can get it to wet felt, but it's not an easy task. And needle felting?
And as far as needle felting, I have not felted with Romandale. So I've felted with Romandale CVM.
Yep.
And I remember it was years ago, but I remember it felting okay. But, I mean, I used it. I mean, I used it all up, so it wasn't like completely frustrating. But I haven't used it recently, and we do have some. So I'm hoping to. I have a needle felting through the Sheep Breeds blog, and it's on bearcreekfelting.com, and I plan to add that into my series. So I will give you my thoughts on needle felting with that soon.
Yeah, very good. So so that's my thoughts on that whole. That was a long thing on there, but anywho, and then will the mill be moving to Nome since her gals will work in Nome? And yes, that is what we have decided, because the last 6 months, it's been really frustrating, as there's wool here and there's wool there, and trying to get everything coordinated, as because we're washing and dyeing here at the school, as well as in Kindred at the mill site now, and it's just really frustrating to get this all coordinated. And we're like, okay, this is just going to get worse if we add to this. So we're bringing it all here when we realize how large the mill is. It's all coming here, and we're blessed that our great employees will come here as well.
Yeah. That was going to be one of the reasons. That we kept it there, because they're such good employees. So
and they wouldn't come, but
we didn't want to lose them.
We are happy.
But it'll make everything a lot easier, like when we're out of something, and we can directly go to the mill and say we need this or that. So.
It's the wise thing to do. The other question: will someone live at the schoolhouse?
Yes. Yeah, my daughter Libby is going to be living in the caretaker's apartment. So she's the chef here. She's also an expert knitter. And
she's a great asset.
She is going to live here at the school.
Don't we have pictures of her?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're pretty excited. It's going to be a really cool apartment. It's a whole entire classroom.
Yeah. She's pretty fortunate.
And it'll be nice to have her here, to have somebody on site to keep track of everything and watch over everything too. So
and we are, and the question continued to, if they hadn't heard us talking about the bed and breakfasts, which we have been deemed a hotel because we have over 8 rooms. So we have 11 guest rooms, each with their own bathroom, and they're all varying sizes. And we have come up with some pretty cool decorating ideas just today.
And we're excited to look into that. And
we'll share that next week. So they're all going to be different. Everyone's going to want to stay in every one of them, because they're going to be really radically different, all of them. So, and some have exposed brick of the outside of the school, and it's
some are bigger, some are smaller.
Yep. Exactly. Pretty cool. Yeah, and speaking of the water fountains, do you still have the bubbler from the basement sad face?
Yeah, last week we mentioned the water fountain, that we can't use it again as a water fountain. Yeah. I think we mentioned it the last 2 episodes, but and what we asked for ideas on what to do with the water fountain, and we took one of 2. Yeah, there was an idea that we are going to share when it's done. I think so. And so this question was referring to that, and there was a water fountain in the basement, but the basement was not in the best of shape. All of the floors were buckling up, the cement was buckled up, and it was kind of wet. And but we did see the remnants of this fountain down there. It was in
hundreds of pieces.
It was like a porcelain. And then the stand, I think the little pipe was still there. And it was kind of sad. But it's no longer.
It's not
no longer there. This question came from an alumni of the school. Our very own songwriting alumni. So
who we so appreciate. And then another question was just kind of cool, because it inspired me to do a little dyeing, and it was, please talk about long wool locks and ways to use or process them. I have some beautiful ones that I just hate to cart into batting, So I put into a bin labeled for doll hair or what? Well, all right, I'm gonna hold this up here. I did some, these are some locks. I dyed this batch or this little handful. Well, I guess we had more because we've got it listed now on the website.
Yeah.
This is a peacock, and this is a dark, I call this Jeff's red because her husband, this is his own color that he
I
color
wanted
recipe.
I wanted a deep red several years ago, and he combined several different dyes to get the red that I
It's quite
like.
the recipe too. So, but I mean,
I know.
we have tried to mimic this color, and there's nothing that gets these red tones as deep as what his recipe does. So,
Yeah, he did a good job. That's back when he used to do all my dyeing, trying to help me out.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, but anywho, okay. So these are the dyed locks, and there's so many different things to do. You can dye these. Well, for one thing, our little gnomes here, we use them on the little beards.
Yeah,
and you
just
can
the
use,
white.
Yep. These are just the white, and you can use them for doll hair. You can use them for Santas. You can use them for manes on horses.
Yeah, so all different colors, like the different browns that you can
Yes.
get. I know I've done doll hair.
Yep.
And it's just really, really, really pretty.
Exactly. Or you could do dye a bunch different colors, and you could do a rainbow unicorn mane, or I mean, you could just get really creative with it. And also, if you're doing any flat needle felting, you could use them for embellishments. If you're a hand spinner, you can add these as you're spinning.
Yeah, just little pieces.
And then they kind of stick out like this out of your yarn, and it just makes a beautiful art yarn. And you put a little extra twist to hold them in there. And another thing you could do is there's thrum knitting. And what thrum knitting is as you're knitting along, I've seen a lot of thrum knitted mittens, is they take a little bit of roving and you stick it into the knitting as you're going, and then so you leave about this much roving out on the inside of your mitten, and it makes super, super warm mittens. It's amazing. And I'm wondering if you couldn't do the same type of knitting with this to add a little texture, a little interest, and kind of fun. Yeah.
And if you were watching a couple episodes ago, we demonstrated using a blending board. And if you put these in every once in a while, it would add a lot to your yarn when you're done. And
and if you do go ahead and card this, Jane, you're exactly right. You're carding out. You're going to card them straight. You're carding out the curl that's in there, and they're super silky, and that's just one of the characteristics of the curly locks, and so they do add to whatever you're blending them with and what have you.
They would add to your yarn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and if anybody else has ideas on what to do with their curly locks, whether dyed or natural, we'd love to hear them. You can put that in the comment section below this video. And for Jane, she was looking for ideas. So
awesome.
If you have any ideas, that would be great.
Yes.
So
and the question, last week's question.
Yeah, last week's question was, Chris and I collaborated on a project before we partnered our businesses. It was, a year or two before we decided to partner our businesses. And
it took about 6-8 months to get this right, though. It took a while.
Yeah, we worked together a lot and came up, and that's when we decided that working together, worked pretty good for us, and that we maybe could collaborate on more and to grow our businesses. So if you have any idea, or if you did have the answer, there was several that had the right answer.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and that was the needle felting wool cushions.
Yes.
People had asked me for years and years on what they could use instead of the foam cushions, because they aren't the best for the environment, and they only last for a week at most if you do a lot of felting, and they didn't like using them and throwing them away. And I actually went through one a week, and would fill my garbage with these because they start to wear out and all the little pieces start to come out of it, and it just is just crumbles. And it's just, and a lot of people I found out through this don't like the sound of the needle going into it. It just makes a squeaky noise, which just drives them crazy. And so as, you know, when I was felting, I would always notice that when you were adding felt to a already felted piece, that it felted a lot faster when it was on there. And so I thought, well, that's pretty cool that it does that. And, you know, and I had thought in the back of my head that a wool felting cushion would be a really, really neat thing, but I didn't know how to put it together. I had made one for myself, just felted it into a square. And then Chris, when I would drop off my wool for her to process it, she told me she had been working with NDSU on this felting machine and that it was going to make her really thick felted pieces. Because I was doing
horse pads, horse blankets, saddle pads.
Yeah. And I mean, right away I thought, that could be my felting cushion that I've been thinking of for a long time. And that's when we decided to work together. And we worked, you know, for
it took a while to get
a lot of
with prototypes
to see. They had to be a certain firmness and, you know, the size. And we started with this one. This one is the main size. This is the one I use most often. And I use the larger one for large animals. And then this I use when I'm felting, like in between. I stick it in between their legs, lay them on the side, and I can work on the top leg, like when I'm felting on them. And that's, you know, I don't use it as a felting pad, but in between things, or to put their head on to felt so that it holds it steady. So, I use all of these sizes all the time. And I also sent them out in the academy. I sent it out to members, getting their thoughts on the prototypes. And I sent them out free needle felting cushions and got a lot of really good feedback and good ideas. And one of those ideas was to make it light color on one side and dark color on the other side, because when you're working with the white on white, it's hard to see what you're doing when it's, you know, it just blends right in. Where if you can work with white on the dark side, it works a lot lot better. So
that's what we do.
Yeah, and these have really been a really good seller for us. It's hard for us, especially this Christmas season. We are lucky to have 3 in stock right now to show you.
I said, oh my,
so,
we actually have 3 in stock.
So
my dear mother has been sewing every day. Because they're all really hand sewn. You know, and since then we have found people have been copying. You know, and then that's to be expected, but. It's a great idea. So you almost expect that. These are all, what makes them different from others is this is all our wool. And it's processed right here and by us with eco-friendly products. Exactly. And we baby our the large herds. They are babied.
And if we do have to purchase, we purchase within the local community for wool. Because in this last year, with the increased interest, we have had to purchase. So
which has been awesome, because we've discovered that like Cornwall
makes beautiful
felts beautifully, and you know, as does Corandale, and so we've had to do some purchasing, and it's great to help out the local producers. We love it. It's a win-win.
A lot of positive feedback on how well they work. Most people are concerned that you're going to felt it right down to it, but it doesn't felt down to it any more than it does to the foam cushion. So I use it. I've been using mine since we developed it. The first one, and she
every day is needle felting, so it's amazing.
It still works fine.
So. My mom is so cute. She goes, hasn't everyone in the world owned one of these yet? Because she keeps sewing them.
That's funny.
She goes, they last forever. Hasn't everyone? It was so cute.
Yeah. Everybody needs one of these.
She keeps expecting us to say, okay, everyone has one now. We're done. So.
No. Yes. So these have been very popular. This is what we collaborated on, and several got that question right. So you've been paying attention. Love to see that.
And the winner out of the hat was
was Pam.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
congrats.
So you just need to go to bearcreekfelting.com, the customer inquiry or contact form, and there's a section on there that says I won the YouTube prize, and you can fill in your address and information and shirt size in case we want to send you a t-shirt, and we will send you your prize. So congratulations and thank you so much for watching and
supporting us and everything. We love it.
Yes,
Love the
comments.
We do.
We love the comments, and there were so many good comments in all of them. I mean, every episode that we get that we're actually inspiring, and that they look forward to Saturday mornings with us, and that is very, very amazing to hear.
It is amazing to hear.
We started this in a more of a selfish reason to for like a diary for us to keep track of. You know, we can look back on what we've done, and we wanted to share with the world too what we know. But it's turned out to be way more than we ever thought. So, So if you can help us out, if you like this video, if you like every video, and if you subscribe to our channel, that helps us out on YouTube to get the word out to more people, to get the word out about our school and what we're doing here in this Fiber Arts Retreat Center, to share it on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, and just get the word out about what we're doing here. That would be very helpful, just to like and subscribe and comment. That helps us out a lot, and we really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And next week, we will our question for next week is, what is the other building that we bought in Nome?
Yes. So if you've been paying attention, we talked about that. I think there was a whole episode
on it. Yep.
We even did a YouTube in that building.
We did, So a couple of them even.
Yeah, so if you've been, you can answer that below. And also, if you have any questions, we'd love to answer your questions.
Best that we can. So.
And that brings us to the end of this one. And
it'll be too late for Merry Christmas, because everyone will have had their Christmas. So we hoped it was a blessed one for all of you out there. And
I mean, even if you were away from family, I hope it was a relaxing, calm.
And if and if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. So.
And I hope there was lots of needle felting and crafting going on.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
That is important to get. You know, if you weren't able to get together with family, that is a great thing to do.
Absolutely.
So, and the New Year.
Oh, we are so happy. And this is YouTube 72, so we have 3 more until 75.
Yes. Which we're going to do something amazing, but we don't know what it is.
We have no idea what it's going to be yet. So,
Yes.
So, anywho, on that one.
Yeah. So, hopefully you had a great Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes.
So, thanks
see you next.
so much for watching.
Bye-bye. God bless you.